Hello, welcome believers to the Voices of Purpose, my first ever vlogcast. And I am so excited today to show you and bring onto you my guest that's appearing, my first ever guest. We are going to keep it real. We're going to keep it authentic. And I want to keep it as raw as possible. That's what I'm about. And that's why I'm here. So introducing on my very first episode is the magnificent Stacey Madeiros-Cooke. Now, she is the founder of the Magical Mentoring and Coaching business. And she has come on here today to highlight where she is going with that business and why she feels so connected and so aligned to the business that she has created. So I'm going to leave it with you, Stacey. If you can just introduce yourself today, welcome onto the vlogcast and take it away.
Hey everybody, thank you so much, Michelle. I am so honored and so excited to be here on this. This is way outside my comfort zone, and just, gosh, it means more to me than I can possibly ever let you know. This has been an amazing journey so far in the last couple of years. When my kids left the house and flew the nest, and all of a sudden it was like, okay, what do I get to be when I grow up? I really jumped into personal development and personal growth. I had been doing it for about 10 years before that. And then I found you as part of my family, and becoming friends with you helped give me the confidence I needed to really search for what I knew my purpose could be. And when we jumped in and had that finding your purpose call, finding your soul's purpose call, it was like coming home. It just made everything align, and I knew I was exactly where I was supposed to be, and everything started to become more crystal clear. And your guidance to this point is what's allowed me to jump out of my comfort zone, create this amazing company and this amazing program that I feel like it's just been waiting. It's been hidden and just waiting bubbling. To be like, yes, bubbling. And then all of a sudden the top came off and it popped, and now it's like bubbling over, and I'm so excited.
Well, I know what's coming, so I'm really excited. And that's why I wanted to bring you on as my first guest, because I couldn't not. I've seen you go from coming to me to meeting you the first time. Obviously, you're a community manager, and I don't want to go too deep into that with regards to another company we work with, the Elite Mentorship Forum, and we're both trainers. But we met there, and you were my community manager. But I met you for the first time in Tenerife, and the energy that we had between us was amazing. But I never at that point, until you cuddled me and gave me one of those hugs to say goodbye, that you said, I'm going to be working with you. I had no idea that that would be the case. But at that point, I remember you had no direction of what was your particular, you work with children, which we'll touch on in a moment, but there was no specific like direction or who you was pinpointing to, where your soul's purpose actually aligned with. Am I correct in saying that?
You're so correct. I knew there was something bigger inside me, and I knew that there was something bigger I was supposed to be doing, but I had no idea what it was or how to get there at that point. But you're right. When I met you and we just had that connection, and that's what started the floodgates. It really did.
Incredible. Incredible. Magical Mentoring and Coaching was born at that time, or did you have sort of your background? You've got some background going on with regards to the choice of coaching that you do?
It wasn't quite at that moment. I have been a teacher or coach for my entire life. It started in my teens. I taught CCD, Roman Catholic, raised Roman Catholic. So I taught CCD, which is catechism class. I was a sailing instructor for 8 years. I then about 20 years ago, started coaching volleyball. I've done some sort of teaching or coaching my entire life. And although that wasn't my career, it was my passion and what I did. I knew that I wanted to create a positive impact in people's lives. I love youth. That's the level I've been coaching. I coach everywhere from middle school up till high school. So that has always been my focus. It was, going through all that, all the years of coaching and watching how things have changed with mindset, with confidence, especially since the pandemic. I knew that I needed to do something and I just didn't know what it was. And then it started once we had that call about finding your soul's purpose. It was like, bing, it was just there. It was in neon lights. I knew I had to do it. And you gave me the confidence to step outside of myself and just do it. I have this knowing that I know I'm on the right path. I know what I'm doing is going to be beneficial. And even if it's just one child or one person that I touch, that I change, I know the ripple effect will be amazing. But it was just taking that one step, and it's been a lot of work, but it's been a lot of work, but it's been exciting. And it's like, I love getting up in the morning and I love jumping on, to create the content. And I just love talking about it and figuring it all out. And it's just been so exciting. So exciting.
So would you say that clarity was a main concern for you?
Yeah, I think so, because I'm a reformed people pleaser and I'm a reformed perfectionist.
Right.
So before, for me, it was always needing it to be perfect every single time. And I knew that without the clarity that I got from working with you, it was, like I said, it was always there. But because I'm a perfectionist, if it wasn't going to get done perfectly, I wouldn't do it.
Mm.
And that's a huge disservice to myself, to everybody else. I mean, so yeah, finding that clarity of purpose, that I was on the right track. I mean, I remember that first call one of the first feedback calls that we had, where I had to list whatever it was, my dreams, and then you had taken that list and we had highlighted the exact same two. And it wasn't like it was 1 and 2. It was like 1 and 6. But that to me was so mind-boggling. So I was like, that's it. That's it. Like, yes. Like, I just knew that it was gonna finally happen.
And
Yeah.
and out of that list, I believe that you have created from that list a program.
I
And
have.
with that, you've got, that's rolled on from these other, the program itself, you've pulled out other areas that you can work on to build your business up even more. And that's just touching on one. So out of that, you've had the potential to create incomes, energetic incomes from that going forward.
Yes. It's really hard to focus on the one. It's like, okay, you have to focus on one, but the other ones are just like bing, 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 bing. And so I've got like different folders where the second something comes in for one of the next ones, I just throw it over there so that it's in there. But I was still trying, focused on the first one. But gosh, yes, so many amazing, cool things that I cannot wait to jump into. Like, the next 12 months are gonna be so incredible for me and for, anybody who wants to jump in with me, because this is so exciting.
Amazing. So let's not keep everyone waiting. What is it? What have you created? What is it all about?
Okay, so in response to all of the things that I've been experiencing over the last 20 years plus, and really since the pandemic, especially watching the kids that I coach, the kids that I come into contact with, because like I said, I deal with, kids in schools, and I've developed a mindset mastery course for youth. So I've called it I Am M.A.G.I.C, and there's 5 main pillars. So the first one is mindset. A is attitude, authenticity. G is gratitude. I is identity. And C is confidence. So it's an 8-week program that we go on this magical, mystical journey, and we touch on all of these 5 pillars and give the kids the tools that they can use to reframe things when things don't. We talk about, imperfections, perceived imperfections. We talk about having an attitude of gratitude. We do role-playing exercises. We have journaling, gratitude journals. There's just so much packed into these 8 weeks, and I'm so incredibly excited about it. And it's really fun. We do something really cool called Magic Board, which looks like Skittles threw up, but that's okay. And it's a way for them to take those 5 pillars, and it's something tangible that they have at the very end that they can always refer to and know how special they are, and that they are perfect just the way they are. They don't have to, please anybody else. They don't have to, who they are, being their authentic selves is what's really important. And I'm really excited to share it.
Authenticity is a really big thing. Like when you just said, it looks like Skittles have been thrown up. A lot of children nowadays see like judgment. How does your program stop that from happening, to mix judgment with authenticity? How do you believe you will guide them into overcoming something like judgment?
I think part of it is we'll be in a very supportive environment, so they're able to get out and share, and to realize that other people's opinions, this is one of my favorite quotes in the world, is other people's opinions are none of their business. And as long as they are true to who they are and they're not hurting anybody else, that it's important to be who you are. If you want to have pink hair, if you want to have 1,000 piercings, if you want to be tattooed from head to toe, it's okay, because that's who you are. And as long as you are comfortable with who you are, like I said, and you're not hurting anybody else, I think they need to understand that that's okay. They don't need to think like everybody else. They don't have to act like everybody else. If you want to be a quiet bookworm, be a quiet bookworm. If you want to be loud and out there, then be loud and out there. But it's okay to be who you are. And I think there's so much emphasis on social media, and I have to say, I'm very glad that my kids are as old as they are, because it is a very frightening place when, if you can't understand it, it's the highlight reels. It's not necessarily a reflection of what real life really is. And trying to get these kids to understand that they don't have to live up to anybody else's standards. They have to live up to their own. One of the things we talk about is values and what their values are, and we help them create a values statement so they can kind of understand how, like, that's one of the main things to help them live authentically is, what are your values? And as long as you stick true to those values, like, you're going to be able to go really far.
Amazing. Yeah, values are really, really important, I think, in an adult's life, let alone a child's life. Where do you think we lost our children as such? We've not lost them, but where do you think it's gone wrong in society that there are so many people out there now realizing that youths of today, we need to bring them up into a magical world? Where do you think we lost that with our children?
I'm not sure. I think things have changed so much so quickly. Technology, although it's brilliant, can be frightening. And I'm not really sure. I'll be honest, like, I'm not really sure, but I do know that the traditional way of being brought up doesn't work anymore necessarily. I think because technology has now allowed there to be so much information. I think we're being bombarded all over the place between TV and social media, and there's just new stuff, and it's constant bombardment, and it's never ending. It's all day, every day, instant clicking, instant gratification. It's just kind of, it's almost systems overload sometimes for me, especially. So I can only imagine when you see, for instance, when we were growing up, it was magazines. Like we would see magazines. Now it's every time these kids have phones. So every time you touch a phone, like you have access to all of that stuff. And it's people thrusting their thoughts, beliefs, you right at you, and it's in your face. And sometimes, especially when you're younger, you don't even know who you are yet, but you're a sponge and you're just kind of taking everything in. And sometimes you just don't know what to do with it and where to go with it. And it's kind of overwhelming.
That's why I love when you came back to me with where we'd given you clarity and steps, and you came back and you said, I'm going to create this magic board. It just brings back fun. It brings back interaction. It brings back working with your hands rather than just typing on screens or interacting with somebody that isn't there. For me, I don't want to touch on it too much, but AI is great for some things. Oh, we're losing the connection of interaction. And I
Yeah.
guess with the I Am Magic course that you were doing, it's going to be on a platform that they're going to be interacting with, correct?
Yeah, so I'm going to be using Google Classroom because it's a very safe environment for kids, for anybody, but for kids especially. As long as they have a Gmail address, they can access it. It's got a special code. You can't get in there unless you have the special code. It's a sharing platform. A lot of the schools here in the US use it. It's Parents are comfortable with it, kids are comfortable with it. It's a place where we can share things. I can post things for them. They can post things back. We can share back and forth. We'll have our live conversations, and just, it's a very safe environment. And that's really community. And that's really what I want to build, somewhere safe that these kids that are in the program can go, and they know that it's a non-judgment zone for them because it's just us, and we're all of the same mind frame and mindset in there.
Amazing. Parents that are watching this, or grandmothers, grandfathers, sisters, brothers, anybody that's watching this, what would you highlight? What would you say to them that if they have a younger youth? What this program at the moment, I know this one is an age, but we are doing different age sections as well with you. So
Yes.
this one you're going to currently launch is for what age?
This is the kind of middle school version, so 11 to 13 or 11 to 14, that kind of like 5th through 8th grade kind of a zone.
Okay.
But there is one for high school as well.
Okay. And this is not just to overseas like America. This is global. You can do
Global.
this from any platform, any country. It doesn't matter whereabouts you are, because obviously you're going to be doing it over the Google Classroom. So what would you say to parents that are sitting here listening to this going, I'm not quite sure. I don't quite get what they are going to get out of it.
Well, first of all, they can reach out to me. But you can
Mhm.
find me on Facebook. You can send me a DM. I will give you all the information. I will have a phone call with you if you want me to, or video chat. I want people to be as curious as possible, and I am more than happy to have a conversation so you can understand exactly what you're going to get out of here. It's 8 weeks of immersion in, the calls are like an hour and 15 minutes, so it's not a crazy time commitment. There will be some exercises, not, I'm fully understanding that kids have other activities. We're going into summer, so I don't want this to be like school where they're like, oh, I've got to go to class. Like,
Yeah.
that's not this. I want them to look forward to coming. It's going to be fun. There's this there's a layout of how every call is going to be structured. And we always will, start with a follow-up of what happened the week before and any insights or ahas, or, do we have any issues or things like that. But it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to help them, kind of gain confidence back, learn how to handle their emotions, understand why mindset is so incredibly important and how it's going to affect them, down the road in everything that they do, from their health to their energy levels, to school, to friends, to other relationships. Like, I think it's incredibly important and something that's never touched upon in school. And it needs to be one of those core things that we discuss. Why is having a positive mindset so important? And it's not. And even like with my kids for coaching volleyball, it's constant. I'm constantly talking about mindset. I do not allow the words "I can't" in my gym, and they know better. It's like, and if I, I just have to give them a look and go, "Oh, me, no, I can't." Yes, and it's like, yes, you can't yet. Or, so it's about, because if you say you can't, you won't. It's just as simple as that. And they have to understand that life is about learning. There's never there's no such thing as failure unless you don't learn from whatever it was. So I really like to instill that into all the kids that I teach, coach, whatever, that, I hope you do fail. I hope you don't get it right away, because you're going to learn something from that. And it's how you react to that. How did you take that disappointment? Because of course it's disappointing if you don't. For perfectionists, if you don't get it done right away, it's very disappointing. But how do you take that and move on? From the time my kids were little, it was never, they would come to me with a problem and I'd be like, okay, so how are we going to fix it? Okay, you had your 30-second pity party. That's good. You're done. Okay, what is the solution to this? How are we going to do this? And, it's helped them to kind of, when they hit things that are troubling or disappointing or frustrating, they get to have their pity party, and then they're like, okay, well, everything happens for a reason. So what is the reason for this? And where am I going from here? And how am I going to build upon this? So it's still very much they're 22 and almost 21. It's still a work in progress, and they learn every day. And I just want to get that early.
Yeah. Everything in life is an experience. I don't see anything as failure at all. It is all an experience that we grow from. That's why it's here. Whoever taught us it was failure? You look at children; they crawl along the floor, they get up and stand for the first time, and they fall, and they get back. And we weren't telling them off then, but we seem to be telling them off at the points that they're actually going to be learning stuff that they need for adult life. So how big can the I Am Magic get? Where do you want it to go to?
Everywhere. In all honesty, I would love to see some version of I Am Magic in every school on the planet. And I know that sounds crazy, and I know that sounds insane, and I don't care, because I believe in it so much, and I think it's so incredibly important. It needs to be part of every school, every traditional school curriculum. We have health class. This should be part of it. Mindset should be part of health class, or, part of the curriculum, so that, and early, like the earlier we do it, the better. It's so much harder the older we get to change our mindsets, because we've had so many years of conditioning. And if we can get these kids going, and just every single year they get a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, then my God, could you imagine, like, where can they go? Like, they will be unstoppable. The confidence to do and follow their dreams will just be, I can't even put words to it, but it could be so amazing. It's very odd that I don't have words. So, but I really do want to see this. I want every child to be able to have access to this, because I think it's crazy important.
Yeah. Well, I know it's gonna be out there, and people are gonna experience some great benefits from it. And I have no doubt that are going to be learning from the children's experiences that go through the I Am Magic course. I've seen it. I know what it looks like. I have no doubt that there's going to be parents that go, I want my child to go into that. And that child is going to come away teaching their parents something. The ripple effect, it's amazing how big the ripple effect can get. And then by allowing the child to be doing this will be incredible. And then hopefully the unveiling will happen more on the child as well with the parents, and give them a even closer relationship together.
Yes.
Because that's what we're all aiming for. We're aiming to have this awakening where we all can become one and know that we're all in a safe place, and educating ourselves more and more on this is just going to be magical within itself.
It really is the goal, and the hope is that exactly what you said, relationships between parent and child, because the children will be able to better express who they are and why they feel the way they do. I find that a lot of times we want our parents to be super proud of us, and we want them to, but we could be a little bit different. There could be something about us that isn't like our sibling or isn't like our parent. And sometimes we don't feel it's okay to be who we are, and we hide that person. And then what happens is all those feelings get bottled up. And then we either have a meltdown at some point in time, or it leads to anxiety and depression, or, and I want parents and their kids to be able to have open relationships where and that's not to say that you become their friend. I am not my kid's friend. I am their parent. That is my job. And I've said that I'm not your friend, but they come to me and they'll talk to me, and they'll talk to my husband. And that is hugely important. Even now, in their 20s, I love that. And I want every parent to experience that with their kids, and the kids to experience that with their parents too, to not be afraid to talk to them about things because they're afraid of how they're going to react, because it's not necessarily what they were brought up to believe, or what they live on a daily basis. And I think parents being open to their kids to listen is important too. And I think that will come from watching them do this.
Beautiful. That's the I Am Magic. Where do you see magical mentoring and coaching in the future?
Gosh, there are so many things, between workshops and camps for both just the kids, camps for families to go to, where it's, there's so much. There's so much. I can't even, it's crazy.
It is incredible when you see someone become energetically aligned with what their true purpose is. It becomes harder to verbalize, because it's like they have so much inside they just want to get out, and it's like, how do we get it out so quickly? And it's trying to pull you back in and go, come on, let's do these steps and do it forward. But you definitely know when someone has, where is their doubt within you now?
There really isn't, because I know it's gonna happen. When, who knows? That's none of my business. The how, the when, it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. I just know that I'm in creating mode. And, I do know that I'm launching this program the first week of July. There's going to be a couple different dates and times because of different time zones, because it's really hard to get somebody in the UK aligned with somebody on mountain time in the US. So obviously we're going to have different time zones. I already know that by next summer, I'm going to be having workshops and camps and, anywhere and everywhere. And I'm just so excited about, like I said, I'm trying to harness myself and focus. Let's get this one launched first before I start working on that. But, the ideas are just, I don't have doubt, because I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I know I am on the right track. And I know that it's important. I'm just going with it. I just go with the flow. I just let it happen. And then I just sit back and watch. It's
what a 6 month turnaround journey you've had, Stacey.
Crazy, right?
It's incredible how you go from just not knowing, having no direction and clarity, to listening to you, hearing you say all this, seeing you glow, seeing you just shine is absolutely incredible. And I am so proud is just the wrong word. I don't know if I like the word proud anymore. I'm just blown away from your enthusiasm. But to me, it just proves that being aligned with your energetic flow and purpose is the one magical gift you can give yourself if you want to take a route, an aligned energetic route within business.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, because like I said before, I always knew that there was something bigger I was supposed to be doing, but I had no idea what it was. I had no idea how to get there. I was terrified to step outside of my comfort zone. Hated uncertainty. It terrified me. I'm not gonna lie. It's just when you figure it out and you learn what your energetic alignment is supposed to be and what your soul's purpose is supposed to be, it's like somebody opens the floodgates, and no matter what, you're going to get there, and it's going to happen. And it doesn't matter what anybody else says, because I know that not every, like, people are going to go, oh my gosh, she's crazy. I don't care. Because I know it's right. I know what I'm doing is fantastic. I know I don't have to have 1,000 people. I just know. That's it.
And I would say you're only crazy with the magic that is surrounding you. That's the only craziness you have about you.
Well, then I'm going to embrace that crazy.
Yes, embrace it, girl. That's yes, right. Okay, so just to remind everyone, this is a beta price that you're putting it out for. We won't mention prices on here. They can connect with you for that. An 8-week program taking children through a most magical mindset growth personal journey between the ages of 11 and 13?
13, 14. Yeah.
Okay.
This
and
first group,
we will put a note of how to get hold of you, but just in case, there is a Facebook to get hold of you by is the best, an email, etc. So we can do that. So if you had to say one more thing to the children out there that their parents may show them, then what message do you want to give to them?
Just to believe in themselves. Just to don't let anybody hold you back. If you want to do something, do it. If you want to, if you're not sure how to get there, jump on the program. But at the end of the day, kids need to believe in themselves. They need to learn that they're magical, and they are magic. They're here because they were supposed to be. And yeah, I think that's huge. Just everybody has magic in them.
Beautiful. Everyone has magic in them. What a way to end. And thank you so much for coming on my first ever vlogcast.
Thank you for having me.
I hope everyone's enjoyed it. I said it would be authentic. I said it would be raw. I'm not going to go into all this editing mode of cutting, pasting. With Michelle, you literally do get what you see. I'm sure Stacey has seen that on many of our calls together. And it's just, I'm here just to highlight to each and every one of you that have got a business, that you feel that you have that urge within you that's saying, there's something knocking on my door saying I need to go out there and raise and help people. And there's just a gift within everyone. We have all been given a gift. Would you just like to know what that gift is? So that's what I'm here. I'm here to just highlight businesses, aligned businesses that want to go out and grow their tribe. And let's spread that message even more. So thank you for listening. Thank you, Stacey. It's been an absolute pleasure. If you would like to appear on this vlogcast, then you can message me and put in a submission form, and I would love to have you on here. So once again, keep believing until the believing becomes a knowing. See you later, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.